crawled on all fours through the cafeteria floor, her knees bruised, her hands trembling, and her face burning with shame. Around her, a storm of laughter echoed like thunder in her ears. "Bark! Mutt! Bark louder!" someone shouted, and when she hesitated, a stale sandwich was thrown at her head. A silence fell, followed by explosive laughter. That moment was stitched into her soul, forever. Her name was Roan Azari, and on her first week at Ridgefield High, she had been turned into a joke. But what the bullies didn't know was that even the quietest girl could rise and break giants at a time. Roan came from a tiny, dust-swept town in Arizona, where life was slow and neighbors called each other family. After her father passed away from a sudden stroke, her mother moved them across the country to Ridgefield, a bigger town, a better job, and, she had hoped, a new beginning for her daughter. But new beginnings don't always come gift-wrapped. She was different. She didn't wear makeup like the other girls. She wore oversized hoodies, read obscure books during lunch, and had a quiet, intense stare that made people uncomfortable. To her, silence was a refuge. But in high school, silence was often mistaken for weakness. It started with whispers, then giggles, then sharp comments that cut deeper than knives. "Is that a curtain or your hoodie? Why do you look like you came out of a haunted novel?" They'd call her Ghost Girl and laugh when she walked by. But one afternoon everything shattered. On that day, she was walking through the cafeteria when a boy named Zan, a popular athlete with a cruel streak, stuck out his foot. She tripped, falling face first into a tray of ketchup and mashed potatoes. As the room erupted in howls of laughter, he smirked and said, "Oops, my bad, dog." Then, to everyone's horror and perverse delight, he threw a dog collar on the floor. "Pick it up with your mouth, mutt." Roan stared at it. Time slowed. Her ears buzzed. Something inside her fractured. She didn't pick it up. She didn't cry. She crawled. She barked. The entire cafeteria lost its mind. Phones were out, cameras flashing. The video of her obedience spread like wildfire on social media. The new girl who barked, the dog in the hoodie memes, hashtags, TikToks, overnight. She wasn't just a joke in Ridgefield High. She was a national punchline. Her mom begged her to transfer. She refused. Because something ancient, primal, and powerful was rising inside her. Something that had been dormant for years. Since the day her father died in her arms. Back home, Roan turned to the one place that had never failed her, the gym her father once built in their garage. Her father, Fard Azari, had been a martial artist, calm, wise, and precise. She remembered every lesson, every kata, every moment he said, "Control is power. Rage is noise." Each night after school, Roan trained. While others posted selfies and chased likes, she bled through her palms on the punching bag, perfected her footwork, and honed her focus. Her body changed. Her spirit sharpened. But at school, the bullying only grew. Zane and his pack, Trinity, the queen bee, Milo, the sarcastic sidekick, and Carmen, the whisperer, found new ways to humiliate her. They'd drop dog treats on her desk, send barking sounds to her phone during class. Once, they put peanut butter under her locker handle. But she never reacted. She never spoke. She watched. She waited. And then it happened. The school announced a team building event called Ground Level, a new initiative where students would partner up for physical challenges, obstacle courses, and strategy games over the weekend. It was mandatory. The goal was empathy and unity. For Roan, it was opportunity. As fate would have it, she was randomly grouped with the very four who'd ruined her life: Zane, Trinity, Milo, and Carmen. The school bus dropped their group deep into a forest lodge retreat with no Wi-Fi, no parents, and plenty of open ground. Day one was awkward. No one spoke to her. Zane rolled his eyes. Trinity mocked her boots. But when the challenge started, a timed forest obstacle race with group penalties for leaving teammates behind, Roan transformed. While the others struggled with the terrain, Roan moved like wind. Silent. Fluid, a deer among sheep. When Zane got stuck in the mud pit, she pulled him out. When Carmen panicked on the high ropes, Roan guided her through it. She said little, but her actions roared. On day 2, they faced the Trust Gauntlet, a course where the blindfolded had to be led by the silent. Zane scoffed when Roan became his guide. "Oh great, the dog's gonna walk me now," he laughed. But when he lost footing near a ravine edge, and Roan grabbed his jacket, saving him from a 12-foot fall, everything changed. There was no mockery in his eyes now, only disbelief. And something else of fear. By day 3, their dynamic was different. The others followed her lead. Roan didn't seek revenge. She led with calm strength. Until the final event, the Maze of Truth. They were told they all nominated Roan. She stepped into the maze alone. Inside she saw mirrors, dozens, each showing her crawling, barking, humiliated. She trembled. She wanted to run. But then she saw a mirror of her father, his eyes steady. Control is power. She punched the mirror. It shattered. And then all of them did. She walked out of the maze with bloodied knuckles, but no fear in her eyes. When the retreat ended, Roan wasn't the same, but neither were her bullies. Zane approached her in the parking lot, holding his phone. He showed her something. He had deleted the viral video. "All copies," he said softly. "I was a coward. You didn't bark like a dog. You bit your pain and stood taller than all of us." She looked at him, expressionless. "Don't thank me," he added. "Thank yourself. For not ending me when you could have." But Roan didn't need thanks. She needed peace. The school year went on, and something rare happened. Roan was no longer feared, nor ridiculed. She was respected. Not because she fought, but because she never gave up. She joined the martial arts club, started teaching a self-defense class for freshmen, and one afternoon, when a younger boy was being mocked in the hallway, she stepped between him and his bullies. She didn't raise her fists. She raised her voice. "For every bark you throw at someone else," she said, "remember, the bite might be hiding in silence." They backed off. The boy never forgot her. Years later, she would receive a letter from him. He'd grown up to become a counselor, helping bullied kids rise. He ended the letter with, "You didn't just break their legs, Roan. You broke the cycle."